The most horrifying things that were normal to Chinese concubines. The role of concubines. For thousands of years, concubines played a significant role in Chinese society. These women, who provided companionship, sexual services, and offspring to emperors, nobles, and wealthy individuals, often faced brutal and dehumanizing experiences, abduction and forced marriage. Many concubines were unwilling participants in their circumstances. Some were kidnapped from their homes or taken from their families against their will, while others were sold by their parents or guardians in exchange for money or favors. Once taken, these young girls were forced into a life of servitude with little hope of ever returning to their families or previous lives. Punishments and torture. Concubines who failed to meet their master's expectations or who broke the strict rules governing their behavior could face severe punishments and torture. These included beatings, floggings, or even the brutal practice of yin-yang, where a woman's fingers were broken and twisted into unnatural positions. Punishments were often carried out in public to serve as a warning to other concubines, and the inflicted pain could leave lasting physical and emotional scars. Rivalry and poisoning. The competition for their master's attention and favor was intense among concubines, leading to a cutthroat environment filled with jealousy and rivalry. Some concubines would resort to poisoning their rivals or their rivals' children to improve their own standing within the household. These acts of sabotage and betrayal could result in the death or serious illness of targeted individuals, with the perpetrators often escaping punishment if their actions were not discovered. Forced abortions and infanticide. If a concubine became pregnant and the child was not wanted by the master, she might be forced to undergo a dangerous and painful abortion. In some cases, infants born to concubines were killed immediately after birth, particularly if they were female, due to their perceived lower value. These horrifying practices were a stark reminder of the harsh realities faced by concubines and their children, who were considered little more than commodities to be used or discarded at their master's whim. Sexual violence and humiliation. Concubines were expected to be sexually available to their masters at all times, and were often subjected to sexual violence and humiliation. They had no choice but to submit to their master's desires, regardless of their own feelings or well-being. The physical and psychological trauma inflicted upon these women was immense, yet they had little recourse for seeking justice or protection. Death rituals. In certain periods of Chinese history, when an emperor or noble died, some of his concubines were expected to commit suicide or were killed to accompany their masters into their afterlife. This horrifying practice, known as human sacrifice, demonstrated the extent to which concubines were viewed as possessions rather than human beings. This chilling ritual also served to illustrate the absolute power and control wielded by their masters, even extending beyond the grave. Neglect and abandonment. Many concubines who fell out of favor or were deemed no longer useful faced a life of neglect and abandonment. They could be cast aside, left to live a squalor or poverty with no means of supporting themselves or their children. Some were forced into a life of begging or prostitution, struggling to survive in a society that offered them no protection or support. The horrifying experiences faced by Chinese concubines serve as a stark reminder of the darker aspects of human history. Their suffering and exploitation should not be forgotten or dismissed as a mere footnote in the annals of the past. By examining these chilling aspects of the history, we can develop a deeper understanding of the societies in which they occurred and work to prevent similar injustices in the future. Thank you for joining us as we explored the most horrifying things that were considered normal for Chinese concubines. If you found this video enlightening, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel, History Unearthed, for more eye-opening historical content. Leave a comment below with your thoughts or any topics you'd like us to cover in future episodes. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring the darker corners of history.